there's 4 of them. And I have known, first of all, I'm going to go back to when we met. So Laura, you are the eldest.
Yes.
When did we meet? What is your first memory of when we met?
My first memory of you would be playing at the church with men's quartet.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then after that we would have met.
Played softball.
Maybe.
We played softball. Volleyball?
Did you go to church there for a little bit too, didn't you?
At First Beat.
Yeah.
When I was chasing Jim, or your brother?
It was prior to, it would have been when you were chasing my brother, because,
Now we're getting honest.
That's real. Yeah.
That's real. We're going to go back to 1985.
That's when you were chasing him? Well, we graduated in 1984 and moved to Minnesota.
Okay.
After my graduation. And
then we'd have met
shortly thereafter.
I came back to Minnesota in 84 when my dad got sick.
Yeah.
And my dad died in January of 85. And the week after the funeral, I met the quartet.
Okay.
So February, the first week of February, and that's when I started going to First B. So Jenny, when did we first meet? You're the next eldest.
So when you and Eric picked me up from college and brought me home, it was I don't know, was that Christmas or
No,
at the end of a
we had gone to the Indianapolis 500 at my sister's.
Okay.
In Indianapolis.
And why was I coming home? Why did you guys
End of
pick
school.
me up? End of school year?
End of school year. It would have been
Wow.
Memorial Day weekend-ish
Okay.
later.
Okay, so then you picked me up and you said I talked all the way home.
She did. She sat, I don't remember the car, but it was a little car.
Mm-hmm.
And she sat up in between the 2 seats and she just...
Well, that's because you asked me questions. I had to answer them.
That's probably true.
Fast forward how many years, you're still doing the same thing.
Yeah, you're still doing the same thing. And Jenny said something today when we were sitting down to eat. She called me by the name Mert.
Yeah.
And not a lot of people call me that anymore. Because that goes back to old friends.
Mm-hmm.
Which does not mean we're old.
Yes, we are.
But we... So Christine, when do you first remember?
I just remember that you dated my brother, but
Okay,
I don't
now just
have
you can drop all that.
specific. But I don't.
Stop bringing that up.
So I don't have specific memories of doing stuff. Just that you guys oh, she's dating my brother and she's nice. But
Oh, I was nice.
yeah, but I don't remember like a trip or this or that.
And I don't really remember much about you, because you and Heidi's the baby. Heidi
Yeah.
was the spoiled little kid. Cute little girl. When do you remember?
I probably remember like an apartment in Casson, maybe.
Oh.
And then probably just time with my friend too. I think because you were Wheaton Box, Carrie.
Oh
Wheaton Box.
my, that takes us back another level.
Yeah. Oh yes.
So I didn't go past far with dating your brother, but I still dated the family.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of an interesting. I've had other friends where something happened and my sister was dating. Well, he wanted to date her, she didn't want to, but she said, no, I don't want a relationship with you. But the rest of us said, we do. Mm-hmm. And they're the ones I went to Alaska with.
Yeah.
So I think it's sometimes that heart bond gets roots and grows, and it's been since '86. Mm-hmm. That's a long time.
So
Laura,
your whole
did
time in
she
Minnesota.
sing at your wedding and play piano at your wedding?
Yes, because I had a newborn.
She sang at mine. I don't know if you played, but you sang.
I sang.
Yeah.
You played piano and sang for mine.
And Heidi.
And mine.
Did you do Heidi's too?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Oh,
so
wow.
all of us, yeah.
that's good and bad.
And you sang for our mom's funeral?
No,
Or played piano?
no, because I was in
No.
Indiana.
Remember?
Oh,
She
that's
was
right.
going over that
right.
bridge.
Going over
Couldn't be
that
there.
bridge.
Yeah,
and,
that's right.
Yep, that was a tough one for me because we had talked about it, and I sat there and helped your mom plan her funeral,
Yeah, you did.
and then went out the door and said to Jenny, I got a problem because this was like February, and I said in May I've committed. My niece and nephew are going on a vacation. They're going on their anniversary, and she said, Mom can't make it that long, and Mom did. And my memory of Joyce was one of the sweetest people I've ever met. And she had girls that are kind of like her.
She was the sweetest, quietest, sweetest, humble soul. Yeah.
So what happened to you girls? I'm
I
just kidding.
am not like her at all.
She was,
Poor
she was
mommy.
a beautiful lady.
Yeah.
She was.
She laughed a lot.
Yep, and I just remember going into your house and there was so many people, so many kids. There's just like a lot of people. A lot of people. Okay, we gotta shut off that guy.
Oh yeah.
Commercial.
Commercial,
people,
okay, I should
lot
have
of
just
noise.
shut that off. We're going, yeah. So normally, yeah, we don't do normal. Okay, color. What's your favorite color, Christine?
I would say jewel tones. The
Jewel tones?
yeah.
How about like
the
primary
blues
colors?
and the
Like primary color crayons like kindergartners
not
have?
primary. No, jewel is more of the
Earthy colors.
fall colors. I'll say that.
Oh, that's sickening. Okay,
Yeah.
Heidi, favorite color.
Black.
That's
Well, at
true.
least that's a color.
If you can see,
Jewel
she's wearing
tones.
all black. She's worn black every day.
Oh, okay.
She loves black. She's sharp.
That's true. Oh, I love burnt orange.
Burnt orange.
That sweatshirt I got from Laura for the trip. That was,
Really?
I love that color.
Oh.
Yeah. I love sage green. I love, yeah.
A lot.
So it's interesting because we have burnt orange and we have sage green. We just don't have orange and green. And we have jewel colors.
Yeah, just autumny.
Okay, Laura, bail us out.
Well, I like sage green. But I think the color that always draws me and makes me happy is blue. But, you know, like the French, you know, dark blue like from the 80s. Not really. just that pretty French country blue, robinette blue. It's not a crayon, is it?
So here, we're at the lake. I'm trying to find the blue. So it's not a blue like on my wall over there, which, of course, you listening have no clue what my wall looks like. But I really kind of like a green, blue, aqua.
Yeah.
I kind of like that. And I go between, I really liked hunter green years
Back
ago.
in my day.
I loved hunter green. Okay, so a song that you can never get out of your head once it gets in you. And we're going to go back
my.
and start with Laura. Well, unless somebody can jump right in.
I got mine.
Okay, you got yours.
Oh, sugar.
Oh.
Honey, honey.
Kids, we told the kids we
were
weren't
just
singing.
talking about that. But like the most catchy little things that you sing that you just, I really wake up every morning with a song in my head and I love it and it kind of sticks with me all day.
I don't think I've ever woke up with a song in my head.
I often do.
That's a gift.
It's all Christian, like it's a Christian song.
She just
Like it
wakes up
is,
happy.
right? Well, it's in your head and you kind of just, throughout the day, you just hear it until a kid says sugar and I start singing that song. And it takes over.
Okay, Jenny.
I don't know. The ones I sing to my kids all the time is I'm in a hurry to get things done, so I don't rush.
That's so
That's
sad.
funny.
Live and
I was
die,
singing
but
that
I'm
yesterday.
In a hurry and don't
I
know
don't
when. We sing that to Chris all the time because he comes in for another Band-Aid. We're just like, I'm in a hurry to get things done. Oh, Mom, please don't sing that song. It's a good one.
But it's interesting how those things just, it's what
Yeah.
you think of.
Yeah.
Okay, Heidi.
Oh, there's so many, but I'd have to say, like, I like the peppy ones, like, you know, like Good Morning by Mandy's is a good way to start your morning sometimes. It's gonna be a good day. Is that Forrest Frank?
Maybe, yeah.
Okay, Christine, quit searching
Gosh,
on your phone.
I know because I don't
Cheater.
have a catchy song. Like Abide is a song that I've liked
I like-
recently.
I like that one.
That one I've just in Bible time
Doesn't
and
Nathan
just
sing you
whatever.
a song sometimes?
No, not so much.
He doesn't?
No. He does that in his I can't sleep times and more when I'm gone
He
than when I'm
sings.
there. He plays
YouTube
more than he
videos?
sings. Favorite is the
YouTube.
Santa one. Yeah, he does those.
I think the songs that stick out of my brain are the last ones I've heard. So
Yeah.
if you have Apple Play and you have a playlist and your playlist gets done, it starts sending you other songs, which is kind of cool because I've heard 3 songs that I absolutely love that I would have never in my life ever heard except random. And I don't know who sings it, but it's called A Sound Mind. And that's my latest. And it's really got good words. I sent it to my sister because I'm not really a big one on contemporary Christian. But it's one of the things God gives us is with the power of His Spirit, we have the gift of a sound mind. And I just thought that that was kind of cool. It kind of grows on you. So we had hot dogs tonight and mac and cheese. And so we're going to talk about favorite recipes. So Laura's going to, right off the bat, share this mac and cheese recipe, because of course I couldn't eat it.
No,
But-
it's really naughty.
Because it's naughty. So you, well, you use gluten-free noodles.
Yeah.
So,
And good graces from Hy-Vee, best gluten-free noodle, because it really holds its form and it's good. And then Velveeta. Tonight was a little different cheeses, but usually it's a Velveeta, a white cheddar, Colby Jack, cheese, mustard, dry mustard, and nutmeg, whipping cream, milk, and butter.
To avoid all confusion, it is not the Kraft mac and cheese. You open the box,
No, it
dump
is-
in this
No,
manufactured fake stuff.
No. And did I say Velveeta too? Did I say that? And then it's from Magnolia Cookbook, her first one. And it's called Becky's Mac and Cheese. And my kids love it.
I watched 2 of them eat a gallon. It
Literally.
is just like, again, more,
Yeah.
more, again.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not, yeah. I might have heart issues later.
They can pack it away.
So when we were kids, we had what we called comfort food.
Yes.
And mac and cheese has always been considered
one of
a
ours.
comfort food, along with peanut butter blossom cookies. That was the other thing. But my mother made mac and cheese from scratch, real mac and
With-
cheese noodles, because gluten-free
A
weren't.
thing.
But she took and melted like you did tonight.
Yeah,
Melted the
yeah,
cheese, and it was cheese from the dairy.
Okay.
I don't remember what else she put in it, but it was stringy and gooey, and you just kept eating it.
Stuck to, yeah.
Yep, you kept eating it.
Lips.
Okay, Jenny, you're gonna say you don't cook.
Yep.
Well, gee, I'm gluten-free, dairy-free, nut-free, sugar-free. No, our new recipe that we really like is actually turkey meatballs.
Turkey meatballs.
So we saute up a big bag of spinach and 3 pounds of turkey meat, ground turkey meat, fresh ground turkey meat. Put in some seasonings and use a ice cream scoop to make them and bake them ahead of time, and then freeze them in bags of 12 so you can just pull them out and eat them
Mm.
when anybody is hungry for something extra.
Do you put a sauce on them, gravy on them?
No, just ketchup or barbecue sauce, whatever condiment. My girls aren't big into condiments, so I use ketchup with them. They're good.
Would Jim know they were turkey and not beef?
Yes.
Okay.
Laura's like, her kids were like, I ain't gonna touch those things.
They said
and
not
her
to
kids,
They were pretty good. They tried them.
They're not bad. They're just
Yeah.
not
they're different.
beef.
Yeah.
Well,
They're
turkey
just
texture is different than
It
than
is.
beef.
There's a little flour in it and seasoning
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, her kids are brave, so they tried them and they're like, no. But they are good for us. So I mean, we like them. My family likes them, so it's okay. Yeah.
Okay, Heidi.
I'm a sucker for a pot of soup, but honestly, I don't cook so much anymore. So if I were to make something fun to share, I'd probably make little cucumber breads.
Oh.
She was so known
We
for
wouldn't be
that.
sad if you did that again.
No, we love those.
That'd be yummy.
So tell me what it is.
You stuff like Pillsbury bread in these Pampered Chef tubes to make the bread. You cut fancy like flour bread.
Okay.
And you cut it and you just put like a cream cheese mix with like a vegetable.
A cucumber.
Italian seasoning.
So now when you talk about those Pampered Chef, those
Yeah.
things, that takes us back 10 years, 15
Yeah,
years,
It's been a while. I don't
20
know.
years?
Probably
Well,
20.
and then before she left, because she would make them for scrapbooking and made them
Ah.
for Christmas, I think, or.
Yeah.
She
Yeah,
did that in
so
her
it would
taco
be-
salad.
20?
That
Her-
goes
It's
back.
a long time.
Her early 20s.
So you have this, 12 inches at least,
Yeah.
tube,
There's a lid on both ends.
lid on both ends, and you put your dough in it, it rises, and you cook it, and then the trick is getting it out without ruining it if you didn't
Oh, they're
boil
really
it enough.
easy. Yeah, just
Well, you
spray
gotta,
it.
yeah, you gotta spray it good enough. Yeah, I remember those.
Dad loved those, didn't he?
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
make 'em all good.
And
Yeah.
I remember we had some that were like stars, and some were like,
Flour, like, yeah.
Yeah.
Like a, yeah.
nobody can see what I'm doing, but that's what they look
Yeah.
like. That takes us back.
Those were yummy.
Okay, Christine.
I do love my mom's homemade pizza, so that is a favorite. And a variation of that, which most of my kids love, is breakfast pizza. And that is a baking powder biscuit with cream cheese, sausage, egg, and cheese. And you bake it, and it's just yummy. So we do that.
So you open them all up and fill the pan up with these baking powder
No,
biscuits?
I make baking powder biscuit from scratch, but you could
Mom's
put,
recipe?
yeah,
And then
mom's
you just
recipe.
roll it out in the pan?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
I loved Mom's baking powder biscuits. They were
yeah.
so
So what was so good about your mom's baking powder biscuits?
probably
Memory.
the sausage gravy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
that was
Yeah, to be
good.
honest, you didn't even know what the biscuits tasted like. So,
But
Just like
another,
chip biscuits.
yeah, and another way that she would have
Syrup.
us eat them was syrup, butter on it and syrup.
Ah.
That
Yeah.
wasn't my favorite,
That's true.
but we did eat that probably more than the gravy.
Yeah.
I think it was a cheap way
Cheaper.
to fill up your kids.
yeah.
It was good.
Yeah, biscuits and gravy were good. Haven't done that in a while. But
It's not good on the cholesterol, but it sure is good. And if you try to make it the easy way, it doesn't taste right. You gotta just put pure butter and really good sausage. And lots of it. So, my mother was a really, really good cook. So therefore, I'm not. No. My kids' probably favorite that we ever did was Dorito casserole. So you take and crush Doritos, put it in a baking dish. So you do a layer, then you do a layer of ground beef, do a layer of sour cream, do a layer of cheese, crush Doritos, you just keep layering it up. And then you cook it and the ground beef is cooked. And then you cook it in the oven till it's nice and melty. And the negative of that is it doesn't reheat. But the positive is you really don't have leftovers because it is so good. It's crunchy, and that's probably was my kid's favorite. Take a bag of Doritos and of course crunch them up and brown a bunch of hamburger, and that was really good. Now with me not doing sour cream, it would probably not taste the same. And there's some things when you're cooking, because we have gluten-free, we're talking about here, we have dairy-free. There's just some things you can't substitute. It's just not the same.
Mom's baking powder biscuits. They're just not the same.
Yeah.
Gluten-free, dairy-free, or whatever, so.
yeah.
So, one of the ways we met, well, I guess the way we met was church, and a faith. So I'm going to throw like a little curveball at you. What is one Bible verse that challenges you? And I will start. It's also one of the first verses I memorized, and now I probably will have a brain freeze and can't say it because, the brains doesn't work like it should. But when we went to Bible camp, we would memorize verses because then you'd get points in your tribe, all that thing. So, and you couldn't do John
3:16.
John 3:16 or John 11:35 or Jesus wept. You couldn't do any of those. But I remember the verse was I think it's Galatians 2:20. I am crucified with Christ, nevertheless I live, yet not I, but Christ lives in me. And the life that I now live, I live by the faith of the Son of God who loved me and gave Himself for me. And I like that verse, but I get stumped on the fourth word because it's I am crucified with Christ, and I sometimes look at the cross and look at what Christ did for me, and that's what He did, and I kind of forget that I am crucified with Him. And when you're with people, we've been with each other now for several days, having a blast, and I've got to know you guys as kids really, really well. I mean, I knew your older ones, Laura's older ones, and I knew a couple of your older ones, and I knew a couple of your older ones, but this bunch. But now that I've spent time with them, I know them. I still call them Pancake and Taco because I can't say their names, but this is my problem. But when you spend time with someone, you get to know them so much better, and you actually start thinking like them, and you just really. So if I'm crucified with Christ, I'm spending time. The more time I spend with Him, is the more time I will be like Him. Instead of just letting the cross be what Jesus did, and I'm back here. I did it with Him, and I'm a part of it. And if I'm with him, then I should be spending that time, and the relationship should be deepening, because we were talking about that tonight with the kids. It's like, they now know who I am. I just didn't show up one day with a truck full of furniture, because that's kind of their memory.
And cinnamon rolls.
And cinnamon rolls, yeah. You know, and your girls kind of now know who I am. I mean, the other ones kind of do, but, and oh, poor Joey, he may never recover from getting lost in the lake and getting pulled out, but he's never going to forget me.
Right.
So I think that's, I mean, when we spend time with people, it's such a deepening experience. And if I spend time with Christ, not just letting him be crucified for me, but I was crucified with him, and I need to spend that time with him. And the more I look at that verse, the more it puzzles me. But anyway, everybody's on their phones. Oh, anyway, Christine.
I know. You're gonna go with me
No,
first.
I'm not, but
Oh.
you look at least like,
Doesn't matter.
Well, you know, I look the least what?
you look like
She's
you're
prepared.
actually prepared.
I
Oh.
don't know where to start.
I know there's so many
Just
verses,
one
right?
that challenges you.
I'd say lately just the verse, I am the true, where he's like, I am the vine, you are the branches, you who abide, remain in me, and I remain in you. Just that whole theme, how important it is to stay connected with him, for that to be your focus, your time, how important it is to do it daily, because he is our life source. And when we disconnect from him and we don't have that time, we are like a branch cut off a tree, a plant, and we are dying. And so it's just a reminder to stay pursuing him above all else.
You mentioned that song "Abide." I heard that a couple last year. I heard it in Tennessee, and I love it. It's on one of my playlists.
Yeah,
Somewhere.
it's beautiful. Yeah, so
Jenny.
that's my thought.
Philippians 4. I could read that whole passage, but anyway, just verse 6. Do not be anxious about anything, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, that your requests be made known to God. And the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and minds in Christ Jesus. Just that reminder to not be anxious, but just that his peace fills you is the result if you leave everything with him, right? So it's just a reminder constantly about not being anxious, to pray and give thanks, and that challenge of giving thanks even if it's not good, giving thanks if I don't understand it, but just thankful that there's a peace that comes with it.
And that anxiety thing never ever goes away, but it can be diminished with its power it has over us. Heidi.
I used to be able to answer that question right away, but I guess I embraced that one because I don't remember it anymore. So I have to go back to my faith verse, and that goes back to Philippians 2:4-13. So sometimes you're just in a season where I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength through Christ. You know, sometimes that's a challenge.
That's a very good point. Okay, the best to last.
I'm just gonna say ditto. No.
Ditto.
I agree.
No,
Amen.
you don't get to.
Well, because I don't have a good memory of like I'll read verses and I go, I love that, and it just doesn't stick. The only one that sticks to my head is the
John
Jeremiah
3:16.
Jeremiah 29:11, which God gave me during my divorce, right? And I think as a single mom, you just need that promise every day.
Yeah.
That he's got you, Laura, and and I look back at my journey and I'm just like, wow, like he gave that verse to me, and he gave it to me through so many different ways, and I should have a newer one now for this later part of life. But like, I know the plans I have for you. They're plans to prosper you, not to harm you, give you hope in the future. And so while there's many other verses that touch me, challenge me, probably would be other verses for my value. And yet he has so given me so much that how can I even question how much he loves me? But anyway,
And
so I don't.
Yeah, and sometimes we mix up love and value. And instead of, we don't understand it because we're so human, but his love and his value are far beyond what our we love and value,
Yeah,
because we
it's
don't,
just so we're not like him.
I value my car, you know, and
Yeah.
God values me. There's
Yeah.
absolutely no, I mean, I don't really
Nothing.
value my car, but
No.
that kind of a thing. So, before we close, I wanted to bring up something that to me has been a marvel all weekend. It just really is cool. There's 7 kids here. There's 7 kids that are all adopted, all 7, and I think that is really, 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 really cool. Can I add a few more reallys? And it's all different stories. Everybody's story is so cool. Heidi and I don't have children that are adopted here, except Lucy. We
Right.
have Lucy. But Laura, you had 3, and then you adopted these kids. What a story. And Jenny, you guys got 2, and then got 2 more, and got 2 more, all from overseas. You know, girls. And Christine, I don't know why you decided you needed more excitement, but these boys are delightful. Except when you're trying to dish them out of the lake, which, we dumped a couple tonight. But I just think it's a really cool testament to your mother for the way you guys have loved other kids, because that's not always easy. I kind of love my own. I like them sometimes too, but somebody else's child is a little sometimes a different challenge, especially when you get them when they're 13 and formed and challenged by the things they've come through. And then, you know, we can only blame the children we raised on our fault, but you guys took on somebody else's fault to love, and I just think that's really, really, really cool. So anyway, so it's been a fun weekend, and one parting word, just one word, that you think is a word that if you could stencil it on your living room wall, what word would it be? Or your bathroom wall, or your bedroom wall? What word would you walk in front of every day if you could, and just look at it, and that's the word to identify? I would use hope. I love the word hope. Now they're gonna have to think.
On my wall is stenciled more than one word, but it's be still.
Be still.
So I know that's 2 words.
That's okay. It's a phrase.
Yeah. The rest of the verse goes with it too.
Yes.
But
Heidi, do you have a word?
Love.
15.
Christine,
Jesus
your
be
turn.
true.
We're watching Christine try to shut her
This
phone
is the
off.
second time it's interrupted our program.
See, I had that happen during church one time, and that's even worse, because you know, you don't take your Bible, you take your phone, and then you push the wrong button, and it starts reading the Bible to you
Right.
in church.
Yeah.
Your
I don't
word-
know why it did that.
Your word, Christine.
My first word would be servant or humility, because I need to grow in all those. You know, and just to, practice the life of that Christ.
Okay, Laura.
Yeah, it's hard to find a word.
Start with A, go to B. No, just kidding.
I would say probably blessed would be, even though I don't probably act like I feel like I'm blessed. I'm overwhelmed with life. But if I look at my life, and I'm blessed, I'm very blessed. Somewhat spoiled by God. So, yeah, blessed.
Well, this has been fun. And see, it wasn't that painful, was it?
Nope.
No.
I want to do it again.